Good evening and welcome to Kini News. As PKR and certain Umno factions continue to toy with a possible collaboration ahead of the 15th general elections, a Pakatan Harapan leader has warned that this could chip away at the coalition's support base.
Newly minted Harapan Youth Chief Shazni Munir Mohd Ithnin said any cooperation with Umno must not involve leaders who are facing graft charges. In an interview with Malaysia Kini, he questioned how the coalition will respond to the public if they started working with these people.
Kita kena meletakkan satu garis bawah, iaitu tidak melibatkan pihak-pihak yang telah dibuktikan bersalah oleh mahkamah dan juga terlibat dengan kes-kes mahkamah yang melibatkan soal rasuah dan penyalahgunaan kuasa. Sebab kalau kita pergi ke arah itu, kerisauan paling besar adalah bagaimana kita nak jawab kepada rakyat bila perkara itu berlaku. Apa kita nak justify? Bertahun-tahun kita melawan rasuah, bertahun-tahun kita melawan penyalahgunaan kuasa, tiba-tiba bila kita berdepan dengan PRU ataupun selepas PRU, kita bekerjasama dengan pihak-pihak macam ni. Kita nak jawab apa balik dengan rakyat yang selama ni menyokong dan percaya dengan agenda reform yang kita nak buat?
Several Amno leaders are facing cases in court and have been labelled as the court cluster by their opponents. They include Amno President Ahmad Zaid Hamidi and the Party Secretary General Ahmad Mazlan. These Umno leaders are painted by opponents as being desperate and would do anything to save themselves from conviction. They are also the ones spearheading efforts to sever ties with Bersatu in the next general election. Previously, opposition leader Anwar Ibrahim had said that the coalition did not rule out the possibility on working with Umno in GE15, repeating his line that Harapan would work with anyone who supported their reform agenda.
Pakatan Nasional held a meeting yesterday night, and one of the issues that was discussed was the relationship between Amno and PAS going into the 15th general election.
Amno Secretary General Ahmad Mazlan said that the party hopes that there will be no clashes between Amno and PAS when the 15th general election comes around. However, he said the question of potential clashes with Bersatu at the ballot box will be decided later. He said between Amno and Bersatu, we will keep in view first. For now, we have no relationship with Bersatu. Amno and PAS held a meeting yesterday night to discuss matters relating to Pakatan Nasional. Ahmad said the meeting also had discussed the coalition's empowerment agenda and had agreed to strengthen Pakatan Nasional. Meanwhile, Ahmad said there is no reason for Amno to give PAS an ultimatum to choose whether to support Bersatu with the Pakatan Nasional coalition or not. He added that the relationship between PAS and Amno had started earlier before the relationship between PAS and Bersatu in Pakatan Nasional. He said it is within PAS's rights to be with Bersatu, and it had nothing to do with Amno's wishes to strengthen its relationship with PAS.
That same Pakatan Nasional meeting also covered yesterday's decision by the High Court to allow non-Muslims to use Islamic words in their publications. The coalition has called for the ruling to be referred to the Court of Appeal.
Amno and PAS has called for the High Court ruling over the use of Islamic words be referred to the Court of Appeal. This came following a Pakatan Nasional meeting between the two parties last night. In a statement, they said the coalition views seriously the High Court's decision in allowing non-Muslims to use the Islamic words in their publications. They also called for the ruling to be brought to the Court of Appeal. Yesterday, the Kuala Lumpur High Court ruled that Christians nationwide can use the word Allah and 3 other Arabic words in their religious publications for educational purposes. The 3 other words are Baitullah, Kaaba, and Salat. Court of Appeal Judge Nur B. Arifin, who was sitting as High Court Judge, had allowed the legal action by a Sarawak native Christian, Jill Island Lawrence Bill. Island had initially sought for the return of Malay-language Christian CDs and religious books seized by customs at the Kuala Lumpur low-cost terminal in 2008. However, following a court order to have the items returned to the clerk in 2015, her legal battle became one seeking court declaration over the right to use the word Allah.
Well, today is the day that the compound for violating the standard operating procedures of the movement control order increases from 1,000 ringgit to 10,000 ringgit. However, the final amount could change at the discretion of authorized officers depending on the severity of the offence.
The 10,000 ringgit compound, which will be imposed on those found violating the movement control order, came into effect from today. Inspector General of Police Abdul Hamid Badr said that SOP offenders would be issued a 10,000 ringgit compound notice, but it was up to the discretion of the district health officers to determine the actual value of the fine. He said the fine can be lessened through an appeal at the Health Department district offices. He added that the police issuing the compounds do not have the power to reduce the amount of the fine. He said their duty is only to issue the compound to the offender.
Dan perlu diingat ya, pegawai polis tidak diberikan kuasa untuk nak mengenakan seseorang itu sama ada RM10,000 ke, RM5,000 ke, RM3,000 ke, tidak ada kuasa itu diberikan kepada mana-mana pegawai polis di Raja Malaysia. So dalam notis tersebut akan ditulis RM10,000. Tetapi sebagaimana yang telah saya sarankan sebelum ini bersama dengan tuan-tuan dan puan-puan ya, sasaran kepada nilai tinggi kompaun ini sebenarnya ditujukan kepada mereka yang saya sebutkan sebagai pesalah-pesalah berulang yang degil.
Could a pact between Umno and Pakatan Harapan win GE15? According to Umno veteran Tengku Razaleigh Hamzah, it could happen if God wills it. However, many things must be on the, quote, menu for the pact to work.
It may be possible for Umno to form a political pact with Pakatan Harapan for the next general elections, said Umno Advisory Board Chairperson Tengku Razaleigh Hamzah. The Gua Musang MP said such a pact can reclaim Putrajaya if God wants it to win. He said this in an interview with the Malaysian Insight broadcasted on Facebook yesterday night. However, Tengku Razaleigh said that there are many things that must be included when they face the general election. This includes the manifesto, service, and plans, as well as the aspiration of the people in the next 5 years. It also includes the strategies and proposals that are presented to match the needs of the voters. He said all this would be considered so that questions on the legitimacy of the government will not arise in the future as seen today. Tengku Razaleigh said that he had raised the question of the government's legitimacy himself, not because he was against Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin, but to question if Muhyiddin is still in control of the Dewan Rakyat as enshrined in the Constitution. He said the Prime Minister has to obtain the support of a minimum of 112 MPs. If he does not have 112 votes, then he has to go.
And that brings us to the end of Kini News this evening. For more stories, go on over to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook to get the latest news updates. If you like what we do, consider supporting the channel by subscribing and clicking on the bell icon so that you don't miss another headline. If you're heading out, don't forget your mask, and when you can, please try to stay home. We still haven't won this battle just yet. I'm Daniel Anthony. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay safe, Malaysia.